Explaining football to the friend who's just there for the nachos? Hard. Tailgating from home like a pro with snacks and drinks everyone will love? An easy win. And with Instacart helping deliver the snack time MVPs to your door, you're ready for the game in as fast as 30 minutes. So you never miss a play or lose your seat on the couch or have to go head-to-head for the last chicken wing. Shop Game Day Faves on Instacart and enjoy $0 delivery fees on your first 3 grocery orders. Offer valid for a limited time. Other fees and terms apply.
My dad works in B2B marketing. He came by my school for career day and said he was a big ROAS man. Then he told everyone how much he loved calculating his return on ad spend. My friends still laugh at me to this day.
Not everyone gets B2B, but with LinkedIn, you'll be able to reach people who do. Get a $100 credit on your next ad campaign. Go to linkedin.com/results to claim your credit. That's linkedin.com/results. Terms and conditions apply. LinkedIn, the place to be.
I'm going to text you my game, so don't look at it, but then you'll just have it when we start the game. You can just...
Okay, I'm ready.
Your mind's going to be blown by this game.
I can't wait. I love games, and I love to be surprised. I love to be surprised by you, the most chaotic person.
God, I think I am. I think I am. You know, I used to think of myself as very stable. Like, I was just reading this book where this character described herself as like a trusty tugboat that will never tip over. And I was like, yeah, that's me. And then I was like, actually, everything tips me over and I don't know what's going on at any time.
Can I offer a brief psychoanalysis?
Please.
So what I've noticed about myself is that I don't want kids, but I do have a lot of like pent up, unused auntie energy. So I love to be my nephew's aunt, and I love other people's kids because it's like just a way to have that outlet. I feel like you have pent up, unused younger sibling energy.
Yes.
And it flows from there.
Dude,
you're like a troll in the exact way someone's younger sibling is a troll.
It's so true. It's so true. And you know what? I think I also, when I'm in community with people who are older siblings,
that's where you thrive. Yeah, that's where your little fucking troll, your troll sense really starts to tinkle when you're like, I know exactly how to make this older sibling annoyed. That's the Text Me Back podcast guarantee.
You know, I have a complicated relationship with my siblings who are older than me, and I didn't get to be a regular little sister. And that's not like some they're too much older than me for it to, even if we didn't have a complicated relationship, it wouldn't have worked anyway. Like, I basically grew up an only child. And so, yeah, you're so right. And the thing that I work on in therapy is trying to learn how to parent myself better, because
it's the worst.
I can't do it at all. I can't. Boy, can I not do it.
Boy, am I never going to get around to that. Well, welcome to Text Me Back, the only podcast brave enough to record an episode that is technically airing after the election, and we don't know the results.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I don't know. It's hard to figure out what the vibe of the show could be because we're recording this on Tuesday, October 29th. The election is in 1 week. No idea what's going to happen, and you will be listening to this on November 7th.
But
so I'm sorry if we sound chipper or atonal.
Hashtag pre-taped Colin show. It's election day in America right now. However, if you're listening to this, for us, it's October 29th. So,
if you wanted to talk about the election, you should have called in on Tuesday, October 29th. Because now, today, on Thursday, November 7th, Lindy and I are in Portland. We're preparing for a live show.
Yes.
You know what I mean? So
we are at the hotel bar with Guy Branum, and we're eating, little deviled eggs.
And potentially Oregon Speaker of the House, Julie Fahey, but I'm not sure if she can accept free food as gifts. We will find out and see if you're listening to the episode where we talk about deviled eggs with Guy and you want to talk about deviled eggs, it's too late. You needed to have called on November 7th, the day that we ate the deviled eggs. It's not that complicated.
Meagan, I have a exciting, I think people like when we pull back the curtain.
Yes.
And I need you, I feel like your microphone sounds tinny, and I'm wondering if it's not selected. Like if it's like,
oh no.
Or my ears.
Oh my God. It is not the right microphone. Oh! 1 moment, please. I have to stop the recording. Okay. Sorry, text me back-alites. Is that better? Is it giving Frasier? Is it giving I'm listening?
Yeah, it sounds really good. I was eating a Cliff Bar while you were doing tech.
Jesus.
Support. Sorry.
We're back. Okay. What are we? Sorry. Okay. So we can't talk about the election because we don't know what's happening.
No.
we don't know what has happened.
Nope. We don't know. Okay.
I was like, I guess we could make a prediction, but I really don't want to do that.
That's what I was about to say. I was like, we could guess. We could manifest.
I really hope that you all woke up this morning anxiety-free. Yep. That's what I hope and dream.
Yep. Okay. But as a nod to the election, so we've come up with what I think is a good plan for this episode. Mm-hmm. We have 2 pieces of political news. We're going to blast through those in what we're calling Political Power Minute, except it's probably going to be 20 minutes.
It's probably going to be 35 minutes. So.
Political Power 35 minutes. Then straight in, it's a little early this year. Last year we did it a little bit later, but because of special circumstances, parentheses derogatory, called the election, I think we all need a little bit of tender loving care. And so we're going to spend the rest of the episode on the cozy episode.
Yes!
The very beloved tradition. It becomes a tradition today because now we'll have done it 2 times. Oh,
yes.
Also,
I was going to say it. Yeah. I think we have the exact same thought.
You say it.
Okay. November 7th. If this comes out on November 7th, that means our 1-year anniversary is in 2 days. This podcast 1-year anniversary is November 9th. That's when we launched with our good friends at KOW. Although I feel like we should have another birthday when we took it independent.
Yeah.
But our actual real birthday is November 9th, 2023. That's when we were born. Aww. So happy anniversary and happy birthday to Text Me Back podcast. Hello. You look beautiful. This podcast doesn't look a day over 9 months. You know?
That's what they're saying. I'm so proud of us. And it's so funny to think that it was only 1 year ago that we were talking about Vampire Boy. We were talking about Kayak Dad. I think that's also in our first episode. We were padlocking the toe of Congress. TBD today, whether or not that worked.
Let us know. I will not be checking the news, so please send us a text. I don't know.
Yeah, it's been a really special year. I already did Corny Time in the last episode that that has already come out.
Yep, it's definitely not currently under review by me.
But just to double down on Corny Time, a little bonus Corny Time. What a joy it's been to make this podcast.
So true. It's really true.
I think we should renew our vows for another year.
That's so cute. I think we should too.
Okay.
If you want to renew your vows with the Text Me Back podcast, how's about subscribing to our Patreon? Patreon.com/textmebackpod. And we can do it for another year.
Oh.
You know, they're saying that we make $387 a month now. Almost enough to pay my rent. So we're very close. Should we start with Politics Power Minute?
Yeah, so we're doing Politics Power Minute, and then we're going into Cozy Episode. Sound like a plan?
Okay, sounds great. Let's go. Hang on. Grab your butts by the seat of your hands. It's Politics Power Minute. That's a jingle.
That's really good.
None of that didn't make any sense.
Yeah.
Grab your butt by the seat of your hands is what I said. Lindy, would you like to start with Politics Power Minute?
Yeah, man. Okay, so...
Yeah, this is important stuff, all right?
The story of the century for a niche group of 2 women
who used to buy comedy VHS tapes off of eBay.
Okay, so when Meagan and I were heading off to college, or it might have been like year 1 of college, I don't know. I remember I went to visit you in Bellingham at your dorm.
Ooh.
And you were like, look what I got. And you had ordered, Tenacious D on VHS. just recorded from someone's, someone recorded it onto a videotape. In case you don't know, the band Tenacious D, rest in power, that they had a 6-episode TV show on HBO. A true classic. If you haven't seen it, go look it up. But, and then I feel like that was the gateway drug.
What happened was when we got the Tenacious D VHS, it had every episode of the Tenacious D series, but then there was also like little special clips of just Jack Black being funny in other contexts.
Yes.
So it also included an episode, the pilot episode of the show called Heat, Vision, and Jack, where Jack Black I actually don't know what his character did, but his sidekick was a talking motorcycle, and their motorcycle was voiced by Owen Wilson. It's very culturally significant. And there was like a couple of clips of Jack Black on like Conan and stuff like that. And then there was this clip of Jack Black in a musical of a weird comedy show where he played like a farmer, and he comes out and he sings like 3 lines, and it's about a milk machine who will suck you dry. I don't like to talk about it. It's disgusting.
By the way, I'm thrilled with the tattoo that we got, but I do want to get a milk machine portrait.
Yes. Bob Odenkirk plays the milk machine.
Yes.
Just to set the stage. And so I was like, God, what was this weird show that Jack Black was on? And it was Mr. Show. And so then we got really into Mr. Show. And I do think maybe at first it wasn't available on VHS, so we'd had to like somehow find episodes and stuff. And then eventually they did release the episodes on DVD, which I still have. I maintain my physical media.
I let my physical media absolutely deteriorate. I really need to build the collection back up.
Yeah.
But I want to say, nobody had HBO when we were growing up.
It was not like now where you could just like get HBO. Like you had to get a bunch of channels. It was like $1 billion. So like, I mean, they would just show like movies that had already been in the theaters, but they didn't start doing like original programming for a long time. So it was like very rare.
Home box office. But then they had these weird little shows, Mr. Show, and Mr. Show was on HBO, right? Am I crazy? Yeah. Okay.
No, it was, yeah.
And Tenacious D. God, the brain starts to crumble, much like my physical media collection.
Correct.
It's the original physical media. And then Mr. Show became a really important part of our life.
Yeah. To this day, I will just be saying shit that they said on that show, and no one has any idea what I'm talking about. But it was so funny. There's much of it, by the way, that does not hold up. I should warn you if you go back to watch it, but a lot of it does. A lot of it's still really funny, I think. And if you were to ask a real Mr. Showhead, like, what's the best sketch that ever aired on that show? Probably 9 out of 10 of them would say The Story of Everest. Yeah. That's my estimate, I think, which I'm going to explain it, and not a one of you listening is going to laugh, but you're going to have to trust me on this.
Let's go.
It's a character played by an actor named Jay Johnston. He has returned home after an epic expedition to Mount Everest, and he's trying to tell his parents about his climb up Mount Everest.
He's trying to tell them the story of Everest.
He's trying to tell them the story of Everest. Unfortunately, he's a real clumsy Calvin, and he keeps falling down, not just falling down, but sort of explosively falling backwards into his mother's collection of thimbles, which causes the thimbles to shoot into the air all over the floor. And I would say that he falls into the thimble collection 18 times. That's what I think. And it's such a sensational journey, because the first one's really funny. The second one's really funny. Probably up to like the 5th time he does it, it's really funny. 6 through 10, you're like, okay. And then 11, it hits anew. And then like 11 through 18 is like the funniest little thing you've ever seen in your life. It's so, so good. It's so funny.
So this is a touchstone in our lives.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
This means a lot to us. So imagine our surprise. After living through the horror of January 6th, Meagan especially, who almost got herself.
I know. Okay, so no, just really quick. So I live in DC, obviously. I live in a part of DC that is not particularly close to the Capitol. So when weird stuff or like big protests happen here, it usually doesn't impact me directly. And even during the Trump years, I just want to remind people that January 6th was not even close to the first time that Trump supporters had showed up in DC to cause chaos. During COVID, there was one bar that refused to honor the mask mandate. And so they would all go to this one bar, and so it was pretty easy to avoid them. He would say stuff like, show up and support me. And like 15 guys would come. It was always very tragic. And like, I don't want to say it was sad, but it was just like, this guy's a fucking clown and people who follow him are fucking stupid. I'm not scared of him because when he throws out a call like that, nobody shows up except like the bottom of the barrel fucking faux militia dickheads who bought their camo, not even from the Army Navy surplus. You know what I'm saying? They're buying their camo from the Spirit Halloween store. Yeah. So it was scary. I didn't love it, but he never had big crowds coming here from like inauguration day all the way through the day that he left. He never really had a huge crowd coming to DC. So I didn't love it, but it wasn't that scary is what I would say. So on January 6th, prior to that, he'd been like, be there. It's going to be a huge thing, show up. And a bunch of people, many of them men, did show up that day. And at first, I think I just was like, whatever. It's always like the same 15 guys in Punisher t-shirts. Like, who cares? And so I went to the gym that morning, and my gym is in a neighborhood called Foggy Bottom. Or it was at the time.
They named that after me.
Yeah, they named that after Lindy's butt. And Foggy Bottom's kind of close to the White House, not like super close, but it's walking distance. So it's pretty close to the action. And so I left the gym, and there they were, like, 10 or 12 dudes in camo and like tactical pants.
Were they hunks?
No, not a one of them.
What?
Was a hunk. One of them did. I remember this was my first red flag. One of them did have one of those batons that extends when you like snap it open, and he had it in his waistband. But even then I was like, what a prick. Like, you're so embarrassing.
It's loser behavior.
It is totally big L loser behavior, because it was about being the most sore loser in the history of this nation, I think. So I hop on my little Vespa, meep, and I start to go home, and I get stopped at a red light. And as the light turns green, there's like a crowd of them standing on the corner. And I just go, he lost, you fucking losers! Suck my dick, Nazis, you bitches! And just started screaming about how Trump is a Nazi and they're losers, and like honking at him and like flipping them off and stuff. I was like, man, like, screw these dudes for coming to my city thinking they're going to like cause a kerfuffle. Right? That's what I believed at 8:30 a.m. on January 6th. That's what I thought. So,
but then as you were trying to escape on your scooter, you realized that in front of you was a huge shelving unit covered in thimbles.
Yeah, and I fell into it like 18 times.
They gotcha.
So anyway, long story short, I go home, and just that whole day devolved. It was I cannot impress upon you all enough. It was so scary. It was so scary. A bunch of them showed up. They did not, as they normally did, stick around the White House and the Capitol. They started marching into just like regular residential neighborhoods of DC. They didn't come close to me, but they were walking in this direction. It was very, very scary. And 6 people died, just as a reminder. So that was like one of the worst days I've had living in DC. And it makes me, that's one of the reasons I opposed a second Trump presidency. I don't know what happened, So anyway, Here's what I will say. If you live in Washington, DC, and you're scooting around on your Vespa on January 6th, you don't need to get into fights with men in Don't Tread on Me t-shirts. Just go home. That's just a little bit of advice from MHM to all of you. Okay.
I mean, imagine if Adam hadn't kept your scooter in tippy-top shape. Like, what if right at that moment you're like, vroom, vroom, and then it's like...
I know, can you imagine?
Goodbye. And then
I am not a strong runner. I would have never made it out of there. But anyways, all of that to say, many people came to Washington, D.C. that day. Lindy, would you like to continue the tale?
So, it was like when people started to get, arrested and indicted for stuff. Indicted? Is that the word?
Yeah. Yeah. And first, the FBI starts tweeting out pictures of people that they want to follow up. They want to question. Right. So the FBI, I'm going to tell you what happened now. The FBI tweeted out a picture and said, we would like to speak to this individual about what took place on January 6th. If you recognize him.
Do you know this man?
Do you recognize this man? And I was like, baby, that's Jay Johnston. That's Story of Everest. Baby, that's Jimmy Pesto from Bob's Burgers. I was like, first of all, I was like, not me recognizing a January 6th writer. That was like my first thought. And then my second thought was, not Jay Johnston getting radicalized and bashing the Capitol's doors open to like take a piss on a statue. Like, what the fuck? Like, it was the most deranged day. I think I sent it to you immediately and I was like, hello? Lindy?
This is one of the things that I don't know how to convey to the audience. It's like, when you're young and the things that you love just consume you. That's how Meagan and I were with Mr. Show. It was not just not just like, oh, did you see the latest Breaking Bad or whatever, or current TV show. It was like all we did. There's a book that Bob Odenkirk's wife wrote that I still have. We like,
me too.
We would quote from not just the show, but the DVD extra,
audio commentary.
The audio commentary. Like this was a really important part of our lives. And then,
I mean, it would be like if your mom went to January 6th. You know what I mean? Like, it would be like if you were scrolling Twitter and the FBI was like, do you recognize this woman? And you were like, that's my mom.
That's Nana. Like, and sometimes people apologize they're like, oh, sorry to do creepy parasocial relationship about us on the show. And I'm like, don't worry. No. Like, I think Jay Johnston's my Nana. I mean,
I don't want to admit this, but I was like, you could never be on my level of being a parasocial creep, okay?
Exactly. So true.
You could never.
Exactly. Never. So Meagan sent me this and I was just like, what? and then this won't make any, like, if you care about Jay Johnston, you already know about this, so I don't need to narrate it, but it was like the memes that came from that. Nothing has ever been tailored so specifically.
I know.
To my interests and my heart. And
it's unbelievable.
So, yeah, I don't. And then, of course, it's really sad. And like people from Mr. Show, other cast members made statements that are like, yeah, I don't know. He kind of has been having a rough time.
And got like radicalized, I guess. Yeah.
He also fell into the Maya starred mustard mayonnaise pipeline. Fell into the pipeline, he fell into the chute.
Yeah, he did. But it was really crazy. And then this week, Jay Johnston was sentenced to jail. And I just said, what?
Meagan, this man was sentenced to, I believe, 12 months of federal prison.
He indeed, yes. Oh, wow. Think of the story of jail when he gets out and how many thimbles he is going to knock down. I saw the notification and I was like, there he go. That is so crazy. And by the way, one of the reasons he got kind of a longer sentence as far as these things go, part of it is because he was a participant. Like, he wasn't just there. Like, he was helping people like push the Capitol Police through. Like he was in the mix.
Break through the wall dressed as Abraham Lincoln.
Yes. Pumping his hands. It was crazy. So he got 12 months. It is speculated that another one of the reasons he got kind of a longer sentence is because he dressed as the QAnon shaman for Halloween like a year later. So he's still like, he just wasn't taking it seriously at all. It was like playing this off as some sort of joke. And by the way, speaking of HBO, give me a Chimp Crazy style docuseries on what happened there. I want interviews.
Oh my God.
I want interviews with Jerry Minor. Mm-hmm. I want interviews with Bob Odenkirk, David Cross. I want
John Ennis.
I want the producers of Bob's Burgers. I want them all. I got to know what happened. I must know. I simply must know.
This is one of those things where I'm like, we're still teenage fans, but now also we're media women. Yes. And I'm like, is it mean to talk about, is this going to jeopardize us being on David Cross's podcast? He's going to be like, I heard what you said about that's my real life, man. You know what I mean?
No.
Now, to be clear, he has not reached out.
No, there's no offer on the table from David Cross or anyone who appeared even in a guest star capacity on Mr. Show.
But if you're a cast member of Mr. Show, then you're listening to this, first of all, call us. Call in. Come be on the show.
Identify yourself. Why don't you?
But second of all, if this is painful for you, I just want you to know that we're not making light of it exactly. It just
was the craziest possible thing that could have happened, I feel.
Yeah.
I'm sure it felt that way for you too, Mr. Show cast member.
Right. And I just want you to know that we sympathize and we're sorry that you lost your friend to the Trump mind virus.
Yes.
And again, if you're listening, come tell us about it on the show.
Please.
We don't even have to air it. You can just talk to us about it on the phone.
I'll give you my personal cell phone number. I won't record. I just want to know. So that's Lindy's, parentheses, question mark, politics power minute. Are you ready for mine?
Yeah.
Okay, here's my politics power minute. Okay, listen, I don't live in Washington State anymore. I don't vote there. But if I did, I would have voted for Bob Ferguson. Hopefully he won. I have no idea.
I think he's projected to win the hell out of that election.
Yes. So, you know what? We'll make a prediction. Congratulations to Bob Ferguson, the new governor of Washington State. And he ran against noted fucking loser Dave Reichert, who claims to have solved the Green River Killer case, but I'd love to see some evidence. I'd love to see some proof. Okay. I think he's a liar. I don't think he did it. Okay. I mean, I think Gary Ridgway did it. I don't think Dave Reichert solved that case. And I think he's been dining on that lie for years. And I'm sick of it, buddy. And so were the people of Washington State, due to he was, soundly rejected, but I bet he was. Anyway, at the live show we did at the Seattle Public Library a few weeks ago, I made a joke that I thought for sure would kill, because I thought it was common knowledge that Dave Reichert, it's like his number one thing that he loves to tell people about is that he solved the Green River Killer case. Very close number two is that he has huge biceps, that he works out a lot. And I was like, I'm going to make an offhanded joke about his biceps. Everyone's going to die laughing because surely everyone understands the reference. And nobody did, except my brother. Nobody else laughed. Well, it's not that people were like quizzical. Like you could hear the quizzical sound. Animated question marks were popping up over the entire audience's head. Poor Naomi Ishisaka was like, what the fuck are you talking about? Not even terminally online local comedian Brett Hamill knew what I was talking about. And that's how I knew I really lost him. I was like, Brett Hamill doesn't know what I'm talking about. I was like, was that just my family making fun of Dave Reichert's biceps? Like, why does no one understand what I'm talking about?
I'm so sorry, by the way. It really pains me to not be able to back you up in moments like that.
You know what? It's okay. It was not a moment of failed solidarity. Okay. You know, these things happen. But anyway, so I was like, that's crazy, but okay. But then I was earlier this week laying around my house. I was trying to think of something to post on our Instagram account because we don't have any video from this week. So I was like, what should I post? And I was like, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to find either a photo or a video of Dave Reichert's stupid biceps. And I'm going to post it on our Instagram account and be like, see, I did not make this up. You know? Lo and behold, I go to Dave Reichert's campaign's Instagram account and it's like pinned on his profile. It's like very high up on his profile, this video of him doing bicep curls, not just working out specifically, working on some gains with respect to his seps. And I was like, I told you motherfuckers that this man was obsessed with his biceps. So I shared it to our stories and I was like, I don't know why these panelists were acting like they had never heard of Dave Reichert's biceps being a thing. If I have to know about it, so do you. And I posted the video and then underneath it, I was like, I wrote, vote Bob Ferguson. And then I made a special post just for Bob Ferguson where I was like, he has a cat named Peter and cats are better than biceps.
Yep.
Maybe 37 seconds later, I got a DM from the Dave Reichert for Washington campaign Instagram account. And I double checked to make sure it was actually his account. And it was the official campaign account for Dave Reichert for Washington. And here's what it said, Lindy. I will read it to you. It was nasty and I hated it.
It says something about how much engagement that account is getting, which is probably very low, which is sad. He was so excited.
He saw that notification and was like, ooh,
yeah,
click. And then it was just me being a bitch. Anyway, so Dave Reichert for governor responded to my post And he says, if you're happy, by the way, there's no way this was actually Dave Reichert. Although the person who responded did use I pronouns.
I know.
So.
What if it is?
What if Dave Reichert has nothing better to do?
Meagan.
Oh, God. Now I'm sad. No. The no sympathy pledge for David Reichert. No.
But Meagan, the era of the serial killer is over, and now it's all about the era of the mass shooter.
Oh, God. Okay, so the Dave Reichert campaign sends us this. If you're happy with the high cost of living, record crime, mental health, and homelessness crisis, then yes, vote for 4 more years of the same ideas that aren't working. Thanks for the video share. Muscle emoji, bicep emoji. And before I tell you how I responded, I would like to say something. Don't you ever fucking talk to me like that, okay? I don't care who you are. I don't care if you're Dave Reichert. I don't care if you're some man in the parking lot of U Village. I've had enough. You know what I'm saying? We're not doing that. Fuck off. Yeah. So what happened was, Lindy,
Megan's not your granny's Megan. You know?
I ain't your granny's Megan. That's what they say. Anyway, so I blacked out.
Yep. You telescoped out into a human baton.
Yes. I put on my Punisher t-shirt and I went off. I barely remember typing this out. I was so mad. And I just was like, so I wrote, well, somebody who has access to our Instagram,
sure.
We could say which of the two of us it was who was brutalizing.
Yeah, I mean, we have a large staff, so.
Yeah, it could have been our social media manager. I'm not totally sure. Anyway, I responded with, I'm happy not getting my period tracked and my fundamental freedom stolen by a second-rate Project 2025 asswipe with saggy biceps. Congrats on the HGH, though. And I sent it.
Yeah.
And then...
Here's the thing.
And then I came back to life. You know, it's like I just reemerged conscious again.
This is an independent podcast. We are not beholden to
I can say whatever I want.
Yeah.
No one in my day job is going to care about that either, by the way.
No,
so don't even try it, David. So then David responds with the following fucking lie. I believe a women's healthcare decisions are between her and her doctor. Have a great day. And then I said, LMFAO, I'm so sorry, but no one in Washington believes that. And I look forward to watching your boss join the Washington GOP dustbin of history alongside Dino Rossi and Susan Hutchison. That's right. I brought out a couple deep cuts for his ass, just so he knows I'm from the streets. Okay? I know what I'm talking about here.
Yeah.
David.
Don't even try to step up to the streets when Megan's around.
You will fail both a dance competition and a politics competition. Okay?
Also, that's such a perfect example of the rhetoric that they think is so sneaky, where it's like, yeah, we just think it should be a decision between a woman and her doctor. We are going to legislate what a doctor is allowed to do.
Yes. Yes, we are going to cut funding for Medicaid. We are going to shut down clinics. But if you have a doctor, you could make decisions with them. I don't know.
If it's
something
in
to think about.
Certain states, the decision can't be abortion. Sorry.
Yes. But you could make some other decisions maybe if you are able to find a doctor. So it just sent me over the edge. And then I posted it on our Instagram, and I think it's our most beloved Instagram story. But that's not why I do it. I don't do it for the clout. I do it for the accountability. I would like to say one thing though, as I wrap up my Politics Power Hour. Conclusion point number 1, fuck Dave Reichert. Fuck you, dickhead. I am glad you lost, parentheses, question mark, and I never want to see your ass again. Okay. Conclusion point number 2, self-accountability. I would like to apologize, but not to David Reichert. I would like to apologize to our listeners because I believe I used body-shamey language in my message to David. I said saggy biceps. What I was going for was you're a liar and a weak baby with laughable gains in the gym. That's what I was going for. What I said was something about the appearance of his body, and that was rude. I shouldn't have done that. What I should have said was, your biceps are as fake and raggedy as your policy proposals. That's what I should have said.
Your claim that you were instrumental in catching the Green River Killer.
That's the fakest thing about your ass. Okay, bitch? That's
now,
what I should have said.
Meagan, really quick, in conclusion, a dear mutual friend of ours, who I won't name, but I'll tell you off air, texted me just yesterday and said, I have a soft spot for Dave Reichert because I watch so many true crime documentaries and he's always crying about how emotionally traumatic it was to work on the Green River case. And I said, well, you should talk to Meagan because she has a whole routine about that.
She texted me, this person. Yeah. And I was like, listen, do what you want, but that man is a fucking liar. By the way, even if it was true that he, like, personally or instrumentally solved the Green River killer case, why are you bragging, girl? It took you like 30 fucking years. Okay. Meanwhile, Gary Ridgway's walking around. Gary Ridgway's nickname at work was Green River Gary. Okay. And you're going to be like, you're welcome, Washington. I solved it. Like, what? Took you fucking long enough?
Seems like his coworkers at the trucking company solved it, or wherever he worked.
Seems like they did.
Seems like
Dave.
they did. Yeah, it's like, look, I understand. Look, I don't know how to. Well, maybe I do know how to solve a murder, but I could probably do it. But Gary Ridgway killed almost the most people ever.
Yes.
So instead of using that as like a point of, where we should have confidence in you, maybe you should say, I'm sorry.
I'm so sorry that I was so bad at policing that this went on for way longer than it should have. I'm Dave Reichert.
Think about it.
God. So that's my I keep forgetting what we're calling this segment.
Political Power Hour, minute, 35 minutes, 20 minutes.
It was about 35 minutes, by the way. So.
Well, we're cutting a bunch of it out for being boring.
I do feel really boring today. I'm sorry, you guys.
I do too. And in the next segment, I'm going to tell you why. I have no inspiration bubbling up out of my butt. I'm going to tell you. Yeah, there's a reason, and I'm going to tell it to you.
Okay, I'm excited. Are you all ready to hear the reason while we, I guess, come up with ideas for how we're staying cozy? Stay tuned.
Are you struggling to close deals? Cold outreach is wasting the time of both the buyer and seller at every stage, especially when sellers are using shallow and outdated data. Your organization can overcome these challenges with technology that translates comprehensive, high-quality buyer data into real-time insights. These deeper insights empower sales reps and teams to adopt the habits of top performers, which leads to better outcomes, like more pipeline, higher win rates, and larger deals. We call this deep sales. And we've built the first deep sales platform with the next generation of LinkedIn Sales Navigator. Right now, you can try LinkedIn Sales Navigator and get a 60-day free trial at linkedin.com/trial. That's linkedin.com/trial for a 60-day free trial. Let LinkedIn Sales Navigator help you sell like a superstar today. Just go to linkedin.com/trial and get started.
Did you know that parents rank financial literacy as the #1 most difficult life skill to teach? Meet Greenlight, the debit card and money app for families. With Greenlight, you can send money to kids instantly, set up chores, automate allowance, and keep an eye on your kids' spending with real-time notifications. Kids learn to earn, save, and spend wisely, and parents can rest easy knowing their kids are learning about money with guardrails in place. Sign up for Greenlight today at greenlight.com/Wondery. That's greenlight.com/Wondery.
Think scaling AI is hard? Think again. With Watson X, you can deploy AI across any environment. Above the clouds, helping pilots navigate flights, and on lots of clouds, helping employees automate tasks. On-prem, so designers can access proprietary data, and on the edge, so remote bank tellers can assist customers. Watson X works anywhere, so you can scale AI everywhere. Learn more at ibm.com/WatsonX. IBM. Let's create.
All right. Cliffhanger.
Now it's time for Cozy Me Back. the annual Text Me Back Cozy episode, where two cozy girls talk about the best ways to get cozy. Because today, on November 7th, we either are cozy, we're needing coziness for sadness or fear, because we don't know anything yet, or celebratory coziness, which is also one of my favorite kinds of coziness. And
yeah, it's really good.
No matter what, you can't go wrong. So I've got this is not a tip, and don't do what I do. Don't do this. However, I'm feeling extra cozy today, Meagan.
Yes.
Cozy throughout the body, throughout the mind.
Yes.
Throughout the bloodstream. Because I invented a new cozy technique this morning.
Okay.
Which is that I really wanted to bring the fire to this episode. I wanted to be funny as hell. And I wanted to be on it. You know, like the people need some, you know, really classic, meaty, juicy Text Me Back on this day of all days. And I was like, I'm going to bring it. I'm going to take my brain medicine, my ADHD medicine that helps me focus, helps me stay on task. I take it on work days. I don't always take it for the podcast because the podcast doesn't feel like work. But I was like, you know what? I should like be focused and like on it today. So I have 3 different medications that I take. I keep them in a little blue pouch. I open the pouch. I'm not really paying attention to what I'm doing.
Oh, dear.
Meagan, I've dosed myself.
Oh, God.
With an extra dose of my antidepressant that I take at night. So I'm on a double dose. I took it last night before bed, and then I took the same amount.
Oh.
And I've never done this before. But let me tell you. So I take 50 milligrams of Zoloft. And for a while when I was really depressed, I upped it to 75, and I found it to be so deadening just based on my chemistry. Like, no shade if you take more than that. Everyone takes a different amount. But for me, the 50 actually is just a sweet spot for me. 75 I took for a couple months, and I was just like, hello, whatever. Okay. Bye. And so I went back down to the 50. So right now in this moment, I'm on 100. Meagan. And let me tell you, she's not, and by she, I mean my head hole. She's not really doing that good. And I think this is a version of, I should probably like call the doctor, but it's fine. I'm not going to do that, but I'm not recommending this, but I'm just saying, it's funny that this happened to me on Cozy Day.
Yeah. You are emotionally too cozy.
Yeah.
Because of pharmaceuticals.
My brain is wrapped in an electric blanket.
Yes. Something like that happened to me once where I didn't realize that I used to take trazodone for sleep. You may have heard of this drug as the drug they give to shelter dogs to calm them down.
Yes. Or
lower the anxiety.
The drug that we give to my dog.
Yes.
A lot.
Just for regular life. I used to take it to sleep. And same thing, it was like a work day, and I went to take my Lexapro, and I accidentally took a trazodone, and I said, hello, boss. No more Meagan today. She's sleeping. Goodbye, girl. So you got to be careful. You know what's the coziest thing ever? Checking the label first.
Yeah. And I'm usually like, I love my little medicines, and I love checking the label and making sure like it. I've never been on medication. Like I've always been very robust. Again, not that you're not robust if you're on medication, but I just have never had a prescription in my life until like the last 2 years. And now I have 3, and it's so fun to me. It's like my little, I don't know. I like rules and systems.
Yes.
I like to like have a little task.
You're just making your little tinctures and things.
Yes. I can't believe that I did this. That story you just told reminded me of a really quick anecdote that I wasn't going to bring up, but I have an aunt who I won't specify. I have many, many aunts, but one of them, I was thinking about her in the last segment because she used to work at the prison where Gary Ridgway lived.
Jesus.
And she would call my mom like it was a celeb sighting and be like, guess who I saw today? Also, she's so, the reason I decided to tell this story is because she's so funny. Also, one time my mom's dog had like a surgery or something, and she had leftover trazodone, and my aunt was like, ooh, give it to me. She was like, I'll take it. And my mom was like, okay, I mean, I guess human trazodone and dog trazodone is the same. She was like,
it is.
Yeah. She's like, yeah, I want it. Yeah. I want crickets leftover trazodone. So now all the time, like if I'm stressed or anxious, I'm like, sometimes I look over at Barry's trazodone bottle and I'm like, I wonder what the woman dose is. So that's my cozy recommendation.
Yeah. Lindy's cozy recommendation: overdose on pharmaceuticals. You'll never feel a level of coziness like you do.
It's my rec unmendation.
Last year it was an electric blanket. This year it's drugs. Last year mine was Pennsylvania Dutch eggnog and watching the extended versions of Lord of the Rings. That's still mine. You really can't beat that. You know what I mean? Although if you're sober, regular eggnog will do.
I prefer it.
Yeah.
Personally. Because here's why. Alcohol makes it taste bad and sour and harsh and burning like poison.
Okay, first of all, I drink Pennsylvania Dutch. Does it taste good? I'm not going to say that, but it doesn't taste bad. It hits the spot is what I'm saying. You did not get Pennsylvania Dutch, I don't believe. I think you got like a local version. So I'm going to chalk it up to that.
If I did, I drank all of it. So, but what I like is I like milk that's almost so thick you can chew it. And that's what eggnog is to me.
She puts cottage cheese in her cereal. This year, can I be honest?
Yeah.
My cozy recommendation, you just lay down on your couch and you turn on the dumbest show you've ever seen in your life. Maybe that's Ink Master. Maybe that's something else. I don't know. But here's what I will say. My husband purchased a weighted blanket. I know we're a little late on the trend of weighted blankets, but man, I got underneath that thing for the first time yesterday and I haven't been heard from since.
Yeah, I know. We almost had to cancel recording because you were like, I'm under a weighted blanket.
Yes, that's correct.
And I was like, me too, but it's chemical.
You know, I was like, I think we've discussed this on the show. Lindy almost always on recording day texts me and says, can we start in 30 minutes? And I always am like, yeah, sure. And today I was like waiting for you to text. I wasn't moving. I was like, I know she's going to text me. I don't want to like get all up and she's going to text me and be like, okay, we start in 30 minutes. I was like, I'm just going to stay here and just wait for her text. And you never did.
Meagan, I'm trying to improve myself. Like I just went on this road trip to Montana with our friend Hester. And so, you know, you're living with someone for 5 days and it was such a wake up call for what a mess I am. Like, I was just like I was just scrambling to keep up with Hester, who is like, let's talk about what we're going to do today. Let's stop and stretch our legs and look at a viewpoint. Let's buy half and half so that we can have coffee at the hotel and then put it in the fridge. And then Hester is the one that has to repack up the bag with all the food. And I am just like rolling around like a pig. Like and that's not because I'm like, I'm going to be a lazy brat. It's like, I'm trying to be helpful and responsible. Literally this morning, I was like, I wish we could start half an hour late, but I always ask. And I'm trying to be not like that. So
this
that
was
my
the one
friends,
day, the one day I would, but it's okay. I didn't communicate my needs to you either.
Yeah, so. You know, you can anytime you want to start later. I'm going to be so excited.
No, but I always want to be like, we're recording and we're done. My little present so that I get to get back under the blanket. So that's my cozy recommendation for fall.
It's smart to wait till the end of the trend because I bought one early in the trend like years ago and I don't think they'd perfected the technology and all the sand, it was full of sand and then all the sand pooled in one corner of the blanket and it could never be redistributed. So then I just had a sack. I had to throw it away and it cost like $300.
Oh no.
I know.
No, that's horrible.
I know.
I really recommend it. I feel like I don't know. How many cozy recommendations do you need?
I want your other one. I want to hear it.
Do Samin Nosrat's roasted chicken recipe.
Yeah.
And you're settled until 2025. You know what I mean? But here, I have another one, which is there is just maybe a 3-month stretch out of the year where I can wear a hoodie without being a cesspool of sweat and bacteria.
Yeah.
And we have finally entered that period. It's finally happening. When I wake up in the morning now, there's a crisp chill on the air. Which means, Lindy, I get to bust out my hoodies. I love a good hoodie. I love to be cozy in my hoodie. And what I've realized recently is you got to get them really big.
Yeah.
I don't know why this took me 40 years to figure out, but don't get your own size in a hoodie. Get a bigger size, but also here's something that's really critical that the girlies have figured out. You want to get a hoodie that has sort of a drop shoulder. That's where you get the roominess. It's not just a size thing. It's a fit thing. It's a cut thing. I have located the most sensational hoodie in the world, and I am pleased to inform you it also has a very good message. I bought it from Meagan Rapinoe's ladies sports company, which I guess is pronounced Tegethxer, because instead of that last E, it's an X.
Don't make fun of it. We want to have her on the podcast.
Meagan, if you're listening, you are my number 2 top Meagan, but when you are competing, you are my number 1 Meagan. Anyways, so I went and bought one, and I got I did get a little bit oversized. It fits perfectly. I'm swimming in this thing. I hop on my little Vespa every morning. I wrap myself up in it like, Reese Witherspoon and Big Little Lies, looking out over onto the horizon. I get on my little Vespa and I scoot, and on the back it says, "Everyone watches women's sports."
I want that. Will you send me the link?
Yes, we will put. They are not sponsoring the show. Tegethxer is not sponsoring this program, but we will put a link on Instagram so you can buy one. Not yet. I also have a t-shirt version of it in French. It says "Tous les mots, regardez les sports féminines."
A lot of people don't know that you speak French.
They don't know I'm fluent, but bonjour. Je suis la jeune fille. Yes, that's French I'm speaking.
No, that podcast host isn't French. She's American.
No. American.
Wow, I gotta take a nap. Do you think I'm gonna die? People take 200 milligrams of Zoloft.
You're not gonna die.
It's fine. I just need to go take a nap.
Yes.
Although I might give the dog a trazodone so that I can take a nap without him bothering me.
Hell yeah.
Is that bad?
Honestly, I think our number 1 top recommendation in this cozy segment, which, by the way, very low energy. Give your dog some trazodone and take a nap. And you'll be settled.
Yeah. Okay. So should we take a break and then do our cozy game, or should we just roll right into it? I think
take a break and do our cozy game.
Allie would like it if we took a break.
I think she would too. And I think we should hear a word from our sponsors.
Yes.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.
You know that feeling when your favorite brand really gets you? Deliver that feeling to your customers every time. Memorable moments like these are key to building your business and your brand. Klaviyo turns your customer data into real-time connections across AI-powered email, SMS, and more, making every moment count so you can continue to build smarter, more meaningful relationships with your customers. Build smarter digital relationships with your customers and make every moment count with Klaviyo. Learn more at klaviyo.com/BFCM. With Credit Karma, finding the right credit card for you is easy. Our app analyzes user profiles to suggest personalized recommendations. Visit creditkarma.com today to explore cards tailored to your needs. Credit Karma, simplifying your financial choices.
Okay, we're going to play a game now, and I don't know what it is.
Yeah.
Lindy didn't tell me, and let me tell you something. I'm literally terrified.
Oh, no. It's not scary. You're going to love it. Meagan, November 7th. It's a scary day. I just realized if there ever was an appropriate day to accidentally take double your dose of Zoloft, it would probably be election day. So
yes,
I'm not going to do it again next week, but symbolically today
you did.
I did.
Yes.
So,
yes.
Okay. But I wanted to create a game that would feel cozy, that would get your cozy cogs turning in your brain and not be scary at all. And it's not going to be annoying. I'm going to read the name of the game while you open up your texts. I have texted you the game in secret.
Oh.
We're going to play the famous game SMDDRFFAD. This is the cozy version of FMK, made bespokely for Meagan Hatcher Mays.
I love this.
And
I'm already having a crisis. Like,
I know.
How am I going to choose?
I know. Well, you think about it while I read all the categories to the people.
All right.
Okay. So your categories are, and we remember these have been cozy-fied. So we got we got snuggle. We've kept merry. Deprioritize. We're not killing any of our cozy friends. Deprioritize. Drink sleepy time tea with in a blanket fort.
Yes.
Replace all your blood with (parentheses romantic). Find in your holiday stocking. Feed each other fondue (parentheses sexual). Attend Bilbo's birthday party with (parentheses sexual).
Yes.
Do karaoke with and which song? A classic. Okay, and your choices are Pennsylvania Dutch, weighted blanket. Okay, now I've put hat, but maybe I'll change it to big hoodie. Should I change it to big hoodie in honor of the day?
I mean,
or do you have feelings about hat? Let's leave hat.
Feelings about hat. I have a feeling about hat.
We'll keep
hat. I
hat.
have a feeling about hat. Yeah.
Okay. Fellowship of the Ring, The Two Towers, The Return of the King, Lying Down, Kevin, and Dateline's Keith Morrison. Now, I know this is a lot of calculations to do on the spot, but I felt like I didn't want to send it to you in advance. I wanted to hear your unvarnished reactions.
This is important. Okay, this is going to be hard because, man, so much of this I want to do with Keith Morrison.
I know.
Okay, but we'll start with snuggle. I know there's like a popular one that people expect me to pick, so don't get me wrong here. But I am going to choose Pennsylvania Dutch to snuggle with because she's my cozy companion. And in fact, there are times when I'm under a blanket snuggling and I have my little P Dutch in the crook of my arm while I'm scrolling on my phone and watching TV at the same time. So P Dutch, you're my little snuggle baby.
That's cute.
Okay?
Yeah.
It's going to be really cute. Mary. This is very difficult. I am going to pick Return of the King to marry. I think that is a good partner. It has a, I don't want to say it has a happy ending, but it has a solid conclusion. Actually it's like 5 endings.
Yeah.
Which I like. It's a good metaphor for marriage. Yes. Good metaphor for our marriage. I think by extension that means I'm married to Viggo as Aragorn, which feels very hot to me. So I'm into that.
Yeah.
So I'm going to marry Return of the King.
I think symbolically, metaphorically, the way that movie concludes indicates a long, peaceful, cozy retirement,
Yes.
Like,
yes. It's like I'm sailing to the cozy lands. Exactly.
Yes. Yeah. Exactly. I love that.
My work is done. Off I go. So very cozy marriage. Deprioritize. Lindy, I regret to inform you, the answer is hat. I'm deprioritizing hat. And here's why I'm going to say this. When you say hat, I'm picturing that horrible Instagram video you sent me of that woman wearing a fedora where she's where the caption is like, people are always telling me to take off my hat. And then she turns to like herself dressed up as Michael Jackson wearing the same fedora. And she's like, Michael Jackson wore hats and he's cool. I'm keeping hat. So that's what I think of when you say hat.
Why would that
be the hat?
Why would that be the hat?
Why wouldn't that be the hat?
That's not a cozy hat, Megan. Think of a cozy hat. It wouldn't be the Michael Jackson fedora on the Romanian lady or whatever on TikTok.
Michael Jackson wear hat and he's cool. I'm going to keep my hat on. I'm deprioritizing hat.
You got to be safe, like just in case. You never know
what if I'm
hat.
Like, oh, it's a cozy beanie. I don't want to deprioritize a beanie.
Yeah.
And then it's the fucking Michael Jackson, the Romanian Michael Jackson fedora.
Knock.
Can I say something about beanies, by the way?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
My head's too hot for that.
I know, me
too. They look sensational on me, by the way. I look like the queen of grunge in a goddamn beanie, but my head is a sweat slick in those bad boys.
Megan, I have started to, this is absolutely crazy. I've started to have to sleep with my hair up in a little bun. Ugh. Because I can't even have my hair on my head.
Disgusting.
I wear a hat probably one day a year if it snows and I am going sledding. And even then, instantly hot.
Too hot. It's too hot. So I'm going to deprioritize hat. Okay. Drink sleepy time tea with in a blanket fort. The answer is Kevin, come on. First of all, he's really high strung. So I think he could use some sleepy time tea. 2, I want to snuggle with that little character so bad. And I just feel like if we were contained in a little fort, he might be more inclined to snuggle with me. He's a very independent young man. So he's not like a real snuggler. Although I've heard that sometimes Pomeranians, as they age, they get more snuggly.
Ooh, fingers crossed.
I just feel like if we had some time together, some bonding time.
Yeah.
In a fort.
Yeah. And
that could lead to some pretty solid.
And if you gave him some sleepy time tea, parentheses, trazodone.
Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm talking about? I'm talking about Traz. Okay, so that's what I'm going to do. Replace all your blood with, parentheses, romantic. Wow.
And this can be like, replace your blood with the concept.
Mm-hmm.
You don't need me to tell you that.
I'm going to replace all my blood romantically with weighted blanket. I want to be weighed all the way down to the ground, emotionally and physically.
Yeah.
I don't want to move ever again.
Yeah. So do you think that's what it feels like to be Wolverine?
Yes. I want my blood to be replaced with sand. Somebody, science, if you could get on that.
Thank you.
That would be amazing. Thank you.
Okay.
Find in your holiday stocking. I don't know. It's a little bit of a cop out, but I would love to find Fellowship of the Ring in there. Right now, I only on my physical media, I only have the theatrical versions. I do not have the extendo versions on DVD. So I'd love to find a little Fellowship of the Ring extendo Blu-ray in my stocking. I think that would be very nice.
Yep. Smart.
Now, this is so hard. Ugh. Okay. Feed each other fondue, parentheses, sexual. This is so difficult. But the answer is lying down. I love lying down.
I know.
I want to make love to lying down.
I thought you were going to marry lying down. That was my prediction.
See, it's so hard.
It's hard. I know.
It's so hard.
That's why it's a good game.
Yeah, it's so hard. But I think that lying down and I could have a really sexual evening with some fondue. I think that could be really nice.
Yeah.
Okay. Again, this next one is so difficult. Attend Bilbo's birthday with, parentheses, sexual. Because the word sexual is in parentheses, the answer is Keith Morrison. Okay. First of all, multiple crimes are committed at Bilbo's birthday party.
Yes.
And we need a gumshoe on the freaking case. So that's Keith.
Okay, give me a little Keith Morrison intro. We're doing the intro to the episode.
It was Midsummer's Eve on one man's 111th birthday. Everything was going to plan. The party planning had culminated in a beautiful event. Or had it? Things aren't always what they seem in Hobbiton. Oh no. So we've got some mysteries to solve, like the mystery of where the fuck did Bilbo go?
Yeah.
Who's been dropping eaves? We got to figure out that crime. We got to figure out who's been dropping the eaves. And we've got to figure out who committed the crime of saying Baggins Shire, because that would lead them here.
Literally. Fucking who snitched Shire Baggins?
Mm-hmm.
Also, another mystery. Do we think the fireworks kerfuffle is a false flag? Did Gandalf leave the wagon open on purpose to frame Merry and Pippin so that they would have to go to Rivendell?
Because here's a related question. The crime of bringing a life-sized dragon firework to a traumatized old man's birthday party when you know his PTSD is triggered by dragons? Okay, Gandalf.
That lies with Gandalf. That's
okay.
A crime of Gandalf proportions.
Yes, it's a freaking felony. So here's the thing. We have a lot of crimes we need to solve. We have a lot of investigation to do. And afterwards, he is going to be feeling like he needs to, unwind.
Yeah.
And that's why I'm there.
Yep.
Little Maggie Cotton is going to have sexual relations.
We all know you're a bolger.
And now I realize I think I've made a critical error here in my choices, because the last one is do karaoke with and which song, and all that's left is Two Towers. But
you should have switched them.
I should have had.
Yep.
I should have had Return of the King be karaoke with, so that we could sing Mary's Sad Little Song.
I to the castle. Well, okay, does Treebeard sing a song?
I think he does in the book.
Oh,
so
no,
we can sing that.
Meagan, we're doing it again. We're losing him again.
I want to apologize to the listeners of this program.
Oh my God. That is why we got fired. They were like,
hypothetically, that's the reason.
Hypothetically, we were fired by our radio station because they said, don't do it. Don't do a Lord of the Rings episode.
That's weird as hell.
Don't do an episode that's all about Lord of the Rings. And we said, no. we said,
we're doing it.
Oh, okay. So Treebeard sings a song called In the Willow Meads of Tesseranen on the 29th of February, 3019, as he strode through Fangorn Forest, taking Merry and Pippin to his home of Wellinghall at the foot of the mountain Methedras. It's like a song about how the trees used to have girlfriends and now they don't, I think, right?
Yeah, the Entwives are still missing.
Yeah. Oh, no, it's not. It's just a song about he went for a walk.
Well, look, Treebeard and I can sing Miss You Much by Janet Jackson at karaoke, and we will dedicate it to the Entwives.
That's nice.
And those are my answers. That was a great game.
Thanks.
Thank you.
I think I put it together before the pill kicked in. So
it was good. It was good. Send us your answers to this very special edition of SMDDRFFAD.
And we will
post it on our Instagram.
Meagan, what's the coziest part of Middle Earth? Is it Hobbiton or is it Rivendell?
I don't find Rivendell to be particularly cozy. I think it's beautiful, but I feel like all they eat is lettuce and everything. I mean, everything's sort of glass and stone, I feel.
That's true. I guess
although in the books they have like little tree houses, which does seem cozy to me.
Yeah.
But it's not really, I don't really see that visual in the films. I think a shire I just love a little conclave, a little.
Yeah. I guess I say Rivendell because I do long to sleep like on a balcony under a down comforter.
Yes.
In a near a waterfall.
Correct.
In a sheltered valley, But I think you're right. If we're talking just pure coziness, I mean, Hobbiton really does kind of sets the standard for the concept itself.
Yeah. Well, that's why they never leave. It's so freaking cozy.
Yeah. Anyway. Why would you leave?
Let us know what you think. What are your picks? And like Lindy said, take care of yourself today. Drink a lot of water. And once you've done that, if you are on a non-sobriety journey, go get some Pennsylvania Dutch, dude.
And if you're on a sobriety journey or just you're a milky baby like me, get a milky baby treat called non-alcoholic eggnog and drink an equal volume milky eggnog to water for the day. You don't need anything else. You don't need to eat food.
Yep.
I think that's what the elves of Rivendell do. They just have lettuce and eggnog.
Yeah, that's what lembas bread is made of. Well,
Meagan, I'm eating my Cliff Bar.
You're eating your Cliff Bar. Look, this episode wasn't very good.
I don't think that's true. No, counterpoint. I don't think that's true. I think it was relatable. I think we shambled around demonstrating the human condition in these times.
Actually, yeah, that's true.
I think we were #relatable. And we gave some good advice and some bad advice.
Lots of really bad advice. If you're listening to this on Thursday, November 7th, and you live in Portland or the surrounding environs, I don't think it's too late to get tickets to our live show. And so if you're feeling a little bit lost in the wilderness, much like the Fellowship of the Ring in Greater Rivendell, come see us tonight at the Reeser Center in Beaverton, Oregon. We will be joined by our king, Guy Branum, and get this, the frickin' Oregon Speaker of the House, Julie Fahey. I'm super excited to talk to her. I think regardless of what the outcome of this election is, there's so much organizing to do at the local level in ways that actually impact your lives way more than what happens at the federal level. Both are important, but I'm excited to talk to her a little bit about local politics too. Yeah. So come see us if you're listening to this and there's tickets available. We'd love to see you. And we will have a merch table at this event.
Yeah. So, you can buy live merch in person, and sizes are limited, so line up early. I tried to be like, God, Meagan, I don't know about this brain of mine. It's getting really bad. It's like worse and worse every day. I emailed the merch people and I was like, yeah, could you send us just like, I don't know, 100 of every shirt? And they were like, no, you only paid to produce 10 of every shirt.
And we were like, what?
They were like, you can only sell shirts that exist. Are you okay? And I was like,
no, definitely not. By the way, I'm going to buy a shirt at this event. I don't have a shirt for our own podcast yet, so I am excited to get a shirt.
Meagan,
I already bought it.
Yeah, you don't have to buy it. We bought it.
I'm going to take a shirt that I already bought with our hard-earned, by the way, Patreon dollars. Make sure you subscribe to our Patreon, patreon.com/textmebackpod, because the 2 higher tiers get a discount. Yep. The $6 and $8 levels get a little discount on merch. And
we have so many funny merch ideas, and the more Patreon subscribers we get, the more designs we can afford to put out. So think about it.
The more Zoloft we can overdose on. So that's really important.
And you know what I think? We're woefully behind just because of life on our Shrill rewatch. We could consider doing one on this weekend. But I think one thing I might do, I just went on this road trip to Montana, and what we ended up doing was thrifting. It was a very thrift heavy road trip. So maybe I'll hop on the Patreon and do a little haul.
A little or not an unboxing, but a haul.
But Montana, Idaho, and Eastern Washington thrift haul. Because I got some pretty good stuff.
Yeah,
Meagan.
and you should post on our Patreon the picture of the people staring at you in the diner.
Oh my God, yes, I will.
It's really good.
I will.
So look, we're going to go now. But we hope you're hanging in there, and I don't know, let us know what happened. If you're listening to this on November 7th and you have a phone that can call into the past, will you call me and tell me what happened? I want to know.
That would have made this episode way better.
I know. You should have called us an hour ago. What's your problem?
Yeah, come on.
Well, you could if you have a time machine. You have a time machine phone.
Well, as we learned last week, time travel is real and aliens aren't. And Keanu Reeves, if you're Keanu Reeves, can you call us and tell us who won the election, please?
Speaking of eating fondue together, parentheses, sexual, if you're Keanu Reeves, can you call me? But yeah, we love you guys. Hope you're hanging in there. And come see us in Portland tonight if you were listening to this on November 7th.
Yeah.
And if not, bye, bitch.
Oh. Also, if you're Jay Johnston, we would undermine our values and give you an exclusive interview if you want to tell your side of the story.
What the fuck happened there, dude?
Come on.
When I heard Jay Johnson was at January 6th, my brain fell into a wall of thimbles, buddy. That was crazy. Keep us posted, bud.
Keep us posted.
Okay. Thanks for supporting us. We will see you next week.
In the flippity flop. Oh. I wish I hadn't said that.
Well, it's too late now. Bye, girl. Mwah!
Thank you so much for listening to Text Me Back. If you like the show, please tell your best friend about us. Be sure to rate and review us. It helps people find the show. And most importantly, please support our Patreon so we can keep making this. It's patreon.com/textmebackpod. Text Me Back is a production of Meagan and Lindy, proud members of the BFF Network. Our senior producer is Meagan Hatcher-Mays. Our other senior producer is me. Our show is supported by Co-Pilot Collective and produced by Allie Slice. Our digital strategist is Chance Nichols.
Diana Bowen is our video and creative wizard. Our production team includes Lindy West, Meagan Hatcher-Mays, our loves, our anxieties, and our fears.
Our music is by Chief Ahamefule J. Oluo.
Special thanks to our perfect angels, Jeannie Yandel, Randy Fullwood, and Isolde Raftery.
I'm Lindy West.
And I'm Meagan Hatcher-Mays. See you next week. Mwah!